Hello, everybody, brothers and sisters. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Appalachia, January 4th, full moon. Got some pictures last night and this morning with my little iPhone. About the best I can do right now. But here we are in front of the sacred fire. It's perfectly quiet and peaceful out here. No neighbors, no wind, no chemtrails. Just lovely. Absolutely lovely. About 50 degrees. Perfect Sunday afternoon for some of us. So I saw some headlines today, some things coming across my social media feeds about the U.S. military going into action in another supposedly failed state, this time Venezuela. I don't watch the news. I don't go to Twitter to find out what's going on. I just happened to see a couple of things go by on threads, and one woman who purported to be a Venezuelan talking about it, and that was it. So for me, someone who has been studying history and watching current events for the better part of 50 years now, my adult life, that's where I got the title for this video. The faces change, but the song remains the same. So it doesn't matter where in the last 75 years you look, there's always a face, whether it's, we can all go all the way back to Adolf Hitler, the Shah of Iran, who was installed by the U.S. But more in the more people's more recent memory, there's Saddam Hussein, there's the Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran, there's Gaddafi in Libya. Now there's, I think his name's Maduro in Venezuela. Regardless of where you look, there's always a face. There's always a dialogue, a narrative about what's going on in that failed state. But invariably, underneath it all, and you could say the same thing about Mr. Putin in Russia, underneath it all, or almost all of them, Hitler, no, but the rest of them, there's always hydrocarbons. Always hydrocarbons. Iran sits on top of one of the world's largest natural gas reserves. Venezuela's got oil offshore, and the list just goes on. Syria is another one, where we went in and took over the oil wells. And this is not a coincidence. The world runs on hydrocarbons. It's that simple. Trucking is the driving force in the Western world. Most of our goods are moved by truck, and you need diesel fuel. And diesel fuel comes from crude oil. The military needs jet fuel and tanker fuel and shipping fuel, and it all comes from crude oil. There's no coincidence here. The battle is always about hydrocarbons. Who's going to control the hydrocarbons? And I happened to read something yesterday about how I used to follow this stuff really closely, but I don't anymore. But I read something yesterday about how, Russia and China are drilling in the Arctic looking for hydrocarbons. And Brazil's doing it offshore, and Venezuela's got it offshore, and it's everywhere. Mother Nature produces hydrocarbons. It's part of her natural process. It's not dead fossils. It's part of Mother Nature's, planet Earth's natural process. They used to call it the abiotic theory of oil. just studying this 25 years ago. So, what can we do about it? Well, we could pray for the people of Venezuela. They're caught, in a very terrible position. Let me put some wood on the fire here. The people of Venezuela, with as much as influence as the globalists have with all of their different tentacles, which includes things like the CIA and the U.S. military. Who knows what was going on in Venezuela over the last 20 years? I mean, deep down, we don't know. We don't know. And so the only thing we can do, from my perspective, hopefully you will do this, is number one, is just become the observer, but try to not give it, by becoming the observer, try to not give it your energy. Don't choose sides. Don't get into arguments. Don't even state an opinion. Just because we don't know what's going on. We peons do not know what is going. We do not know the truth. We don't. Okay? We don't know the truth. And Donald Trump, he went 4 years without starting a war. Well, that's down the shithole now. Okay? So we don't know the truth. We don't know who's pulling the strings. We don't know what's behind it all, who's behind it all. We don't know anything. So therefore, we cannot have an informed opinion. So it becomes useless to go out into social media and try to debate somebody. It's just a waste of energy. And these globalists, these psychopathic globalists, they feed off of that energy. They feed off of your fear. They feed off of your anger. They feed off of all of your uninformed opinions. Don't give it to them. Just stop. Stop. All right? Go do a crossword puzzle or a jigsaw puzzle, or go hug somebody. Right? Go make love to somebody. Anything but giving them your energy. Just don't do it. Find something that brings you joy today. And then say a prayer for the people of Venezuela. And say a prayer for those in the military that are executing this event, because they don't know what's going on. They're just following orders. Okay? So that's all we can do, from my opinion. I'm not going to watch anything or follow anybody or try to be informed. It just doesn't work. It doesn't bring peace and joy to me. So what brings peace and joy to you? Okay? This would be one of those things that if we were back in the days of working in an office, which I'm sure many people still are, it's the old water cooler conversation. I'm glad I don't work in an office, because I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to be around it. The Dalai Lama says, if you can control it, why worry about it? If you can't control it, why worry about it? We can't control this. Okay? All we can do is control this. Find the peace and the joy here. And that's how we'll be helping the people of Venezuela and the other 21 wars that are going on around the world right now. Okay? So that's today's message. The faces change, but the song remains the same. Do what brings you joy. Do what brings you peace. Do what brings you happiness. so that you can smile at the end of the day. I hope this helps. It's all we can do. Pray for those people. So until next time, cosmic energy, earth energy, heart energy. Send loving heart energy out to all beings, all dimensions, all timelines, all realities. May this day be filled with compassion, loving kindness, and courage. Goodbye. Till next time.